So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships that people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony. Considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed, I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrecht 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details, so assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renins really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renin people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renins even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renins for who they were. I hated them just for being Renin. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renins not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renins who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renins are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renins and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrekt 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, Time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Hilganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Ready to go! Talent watch! Sword Lane Alpha!
This one's mine!
You picked the wrong fight!
Lunar Crescent!
Sword Lane Alpha! I'm surrounded!
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
Do it! No,
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Burn in hell! Negative gate! Resonate. Shouldn't have messed with me! Denied! I'm ready! On your...
In an instant!
Impact block! On your...
Sword Rain Alpha!
Burn!
Power of water!
Resonate with the Take this!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Benediction
ready.
light.
Sword Rain
Where
Alpha!
are you going?
Heal!
Okay, here I go.
Rinwell! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to... Stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegus, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Dahnan, do you think have ever seen this?
regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Looks like trouble with a capital T.
Together, we've got this!
Now you see what I can do!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Inspiration! I could do this all day! Here I go! Why, thank you, your lordship.
And will you lay down your life for your lord?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not be hasty.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
Ready to go! Denied! Catapult! Here I go!
Sword Rain Alpha! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Sword Rain Alpha!
Thank you! Inferno Punch!
Sword Rain Alpha! Not today! Sword Rain Alpha!
Now! Take this!
None shall escape my
Smash you!
judgment! Where are you going?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Orochi's Fury! I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! Negative gate! Resonate with the earth! Watch this!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Crumble! Talon Storm! Watch it!
Nothing gets by me!
Swallow Dance!
I'll heal you all!
Burn!
Eagle Assault! The abyssal deep!
Soaring Light Spear!
So much for sitting this fight out.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Complaint, I hear.
Nope, that'd be silly.
Lightning! Downfall!
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely, which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
First strike! The flame is shatter any steel!
To be let free!
Inferno Punch! Catapult! Find free! What can they just sit still?
Orochion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I shall ensure you survive this! Eagle Assault!
Mega Ray!
Tempest! I'm ready!
Kisara!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
More?
I never miss!
Talon Hurricane! Can you take it?
Sword Rain Alpha! Eat this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Eat this! Elusive deity!
Orochi's
None shall
Fury!
escape my judgment!
I'm ready and raring! Swallow this!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I can carve through armor!
I'm ready!
None shall escape my
Can you
judgment!
take it? You're mine!
Sword Rain
Eat
Alpha!
this!
Far enough! Primed and
Now I'm real mad!
Cyan, this one's mine!
Do it! The flaming totally! Hey! Blow them away! How's that?
Reinforcements?
Sword Rain Alpha! Burn it out! Sword Rain Alpha!
More sequels?
Keep calm and take them down!
In a bind?
Do it!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
A freezing storm!
We barely managed to turn that battle.
You don't need to sound surprised.
Perhaps I'll put more faith in you then.
Well, I certainly won't argue.
That'll bring you down! If it's in the sky, it's not!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! More? The abyssal
freezing
Sword Rain
storm!
Alpha! I'm on! Now you see what I can do!
Radiant flood here!
Dark wind!
Where are you going?
I'm ready!
Well, astral energy! Full throttle!
More? Elusive deity! Rotating Sword Rain Alpha! Orochi's Fury! Resonate with the earth! All mine! Stalagmite! Ether!
Eagle assault!
Now I can let loose.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Denied!
Resonate with the earth! Eat this! Talon Hurricane!
Impressive, Yoel.
More? Dragon Shell! Take this! Glimmer Dragon! Sword Rain Alpha!
Eagle assault!
Now I can let loose.
I'm sorry to see you, Bob.
We've all got enough
No
on us.
further! Yes, ma'am! Win! Take
That'll
that!
bring you down!
I'm ready!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
More?
Searing
Sword Rain Alpha! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! They just keep coming!
Flame of
Fury!
fury!
Everlasting darkness! Burn it
Water, hear my
Armor
call!
won't save you! Negative base! I'm ready! Bullseye, Sion! None!
Get out of my sight or you'll get hit!
Oops! Right! Sorry! Thanks!
I never miss!
Don't suffer
Sorry.
in silence!
I didn't want to put you out.
What are friends for if we can't depend on one another?
You're right.
Don't leave! Hey! Blow them away! More?
Radiant
On
here!
your wing!
I'm out of ammo! I'm all stuck!
Nothing gets by me!
Where are you going?
Eagle assault! On your knees! Sword Rain Alpha! Ether!
I'll fix you up!
Air pressure! Orochi's Fury! Surges through me!
Radiant here!
Far enough!
Sword Rain Alpha! Resonate with the earth!
Cyan, I'm all stuck up!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Plasma shock! Air pressure!
Water, hear my call!
An admirable display of force.
Let the
An
monster
admiral?
handle
I
this.
can't even swim!
Never mind.
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you!
Glimmer Dragon! Regenerate!
Eagle assault!
Rain
Do it!
Alpha!
Chikara!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
My astral arts are coming along quite nicely.
Coming along? What do you... You want to do with them?
Oh, you know. Sprout flowers from the tip of my staff, suspended in midair.
So you want to be a street magician then?
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zeugles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them.
Looks like trouble with the capital T. Together we see what I can do.
Radiant
Sword Rain Alpha.
Eat
Allow me to help you. Sword Rain Alpha.
That's fucking
Take
driving
this.
me mad.
Orochi's Fury.
Come and face me.
Rending you on top. Eat this.
you before Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Take this. Strike.
Freeze Lancer!
Whirling Snap. Plasma Shock. Talon Hurricane.
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
I'm on a roll now.
Freeze
Here I
Lancer!
come. Sword Rain Alpha. Not today.
Will this help?
A new melody. Sword Rain Alpha. Do it. Step it up. Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
If he's in the sky,
That training's
it's mine!
paying off.
Why'd you humor?
To stop you dying?
Sword Rain
flame inside me yearns to be let free!
The fluidity of your movement.
Do it! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
None shall escape
Come on,
my
Sword
presence.
Rain! Now you see what I'm on a roll now!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Swallow deity! Rotating pile driver! Ha!
You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Burn in hell!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Go away!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I never miss!
Catapult! In a bind!
Annihilation! Radiant, get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Already on!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Powered storm!
None shall escape my
Too back!
presence.
Stand back! I'll trip it up. Tornado drive!
Sword Rain Alpha! Not today!
Is
that a healing art?
It is.
Smash you!
I can't ignore your
Sword
pain.
Rain Alpha! I'll try to be more careful. Sword Rain Alpha!
All good things come to
Sword
an
Rain
end.
Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha!
Swallow dare!
Roach's Fury!
To everlasting darkness. Negative death!
Here's evil!
On your prepare to be
Sword Rain
free!
Alpha!
Air pressure!
Will this help?
Can't get out of this!
Sword Rain Alpha!
All in order.
Healing circle!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Rending you apart! This one's all mine! On your
Do it!
Ignite!
These fists have got your name on them!
Reload!
Shion!
Get toasty!
Burn strike! Begin!
Glacial
Ready
Spear!
and ready!
Here's evil!
Do it!
Laser! Very well! Astral energy! Full throttle!
There's always room for improvement. Looks like trouble with a capital T!
Together, we've got this! I owe you one! Sword Rain Alpha!
Take this! That freaking does
A
it!
spotted beast hunting, anyone?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's evil!
Raging Lunar
Blaze Lancer!
Dark
Sword Rain Alpha!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling
You picked
to
the
me!
wrong fight!
Watch this! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shout! They got me flanked!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Talon Hurricane! Why, thank you, your lordship.
And will you lay down your life for your lord?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not behave.
Sword Rain Alpha!
In a bind?
I have no limits!
Gemini
Sword Rain Alpha!
Anything in armor is all right. Do it! Catapult!
Annihilation! I'm
Sorry, but this fight ends here! Go faster!
Now, Asuna!
right! None shall escape my presence!
Easter!
Bestow thy
Sword
mystic
Rain
blessing.
Alpha!
Armor won't save you! Ready to go! Fairy circle!
This one's mine!
Yeah,
Thank you for the healing, Dylan.
Deny!
The sooner you stop thanking, the sooner you can start helping.
I mean, yes, sir.
Here's evil!
Sword Rain Alpha!
does it.
Roach's Fury! Plasma Shock!
Searing Flame!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
First aid!
rage.
together.
Sword Rain Alpha! I can do this all day!
No further!
By the power of water! Talon Hurricane!
Benediction light.
Orochi Fury! Water!
Allow me to
Hear
help.
my Sword Rain Alpha! What's this? Begin! Anything in order to bring you into doubt!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Together! Bloody howling! Dragon Stone!
Sword Rain Alpha! Orochi Fury!
First strike!
Nothing gets by me.
Storm! Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's evil!
Talon Hurricane!
Freeze laser!
Penumbra! Rotating Pile Driver!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Can you take it?
Orochi Fury! Glimmer Dragon!
Where are you going?
A thrilling performance.
Do it! Burn! Jolie! Hey! Blow them away!
I can feel my power growing!
This'll make us even more formidable.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Watch it! Lunar Corruption!
Debut performance.
Sword Rain Alpha!
In a
Time
bind.
to cross blades!
I'm on it! Sword Rain Alpha won't save you!
Try harder! Now!
Air pressure.
Sword Rain
Resonate
Alpha!
with the earth.
Eat this!
Stalagmite.
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'll finish you here and now!
Healing circle!
Okay, here I go!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps
Now I'm in trouble!
I really don't.
Bring you down!
I can do this all day!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Far enough! Dragon
Amazing.
Resonate with the earth.
Evil
Stalagmite.
assault!
Bathed in
Lunar
blood.
corruption!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm sorry to be a boss.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am!
Burning!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm just getting started!
Not today!
Now I'm real mad! Big Blast!
Sword Rain Alpha! Orochi Fury!
Oh, now they
Where are you going?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Eagle Assault! I'm just getting started! I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike! Talon Storm!
Take it time. Dance on the wind.
Lost my focus! Penumbra! Rotating Pile Driver!
Healing circle!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
So much for
Get
sitting
behind
this
me.
fight
I'll
out.
leave it to you! Sorry, but this fight ends here! Just go faster!
Now, Asuna!
Right!
Water! Hear my call!
Eat
Do it!
Rimbo!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
So I still had room to grow.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation. This one will be difficult to predict.
Can't get out of this!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
I'll grind you into dust!
Insects should stay on the ground.
What's this?
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Alpha! Orochi Fury!
Hear me! Flame of
Sword
fury!
Alpha! I'm on it!
Water with the mark!
Orochi Fury! Ignite! Heal! Thanks! Sword ready! Water! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Now I'm in the cooler.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Whirlwind, do it! Gion!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Searing tempest! And that's my thrill! Searing flame! Reload!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Sword Rain Alpha!
And pummeling to me!
Sword Rain Alpha! Eat dirt!
All good things.
Who wants to
Armor
die
won't
next?
save you!
Down on the ground!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This one will be difficult to predict.
This one's mine!
Lionheart! Now I can let loose!
Sword fire! Instant!
Take this!
Talon Sword!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I
Orochi
already
Fury!
tried.
Tempest! I'll finish you with
Hey,
your
you
shield from calamity!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time.
I really don't.
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Magna Ray!
I'll take you all on!
First strike!
A scream.
Orochi Fury!
Flame! Reload!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Lock! Get toasty!
Bird strike! Those bombs of yours are amazing!
Who needs a gun when you can send them flying? Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way! The design of this equipment is... really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Looks like trouble with a capital T!
Together, we've got this!
Down on the ground!
Burn!
Rotating pile time! You missed!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Grind you into dust!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage!
I'm on a roll now!
Eagle
Orochi
Roll!
Fury!
Searing flame! Reload!
Sword Rain Alpha!
On your knees.
Searing flame! Reload!
Eat that! Now I'm real mad! Ready to go!
Sword Rain Alpha! Thanks!
Far enough!
It's on! I've been hit with something!
So even a masochist has his limits.
No, feeling so great.
Ignite!
I'm all stuffed up!
Take this! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm just getting started!
First aid!
Now I can let loose!
Searing flame!
Now I'm in
This one
trouble!
keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
I can do this all
Rain Alpha!
Yeah, appreciate the concern.
The sooner you stop thanking, the sooner you can start helping.
I mean, yes, sir.
Will this help?
Sword Rain Alpha! Elusive Deity! Splendid Flash! Hitting Pile Driver! Win!
Leave the enemy's art to me.
Just getting off. No complaints here.
Is this it?
Don't give up.
Gets by me! Penumbra! Soaring Blast!
Bring you back from death to this.
Strike! Tempest and Ghost Shield!
Do it.
Law! Say! Ha! Blow them away!
Remember to tell me if you need heat. Healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret no further.
Swallow Dance! Sword Rain Alpha!
The abyssal deep.
These things really get on my
I
nerves.
shall provide assistance.
Ignite!
Flying
Why
free.
can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah,
Rain
and
Alpha!
pummeling to me.
Radiant Pierce.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Now I'm real mad.
Here I go.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Anything in armor.
Freezing storm.
Try harder! My turn! Sword Rain Alpha!
Armor won't save you.
Pile Driver!
That'll bring you down.
Swallow Dance. The abyssal deep. I'm just getting. I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
Talon Hurricane! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off.
Freezing storm.
To everlasting
Sword Rain
Make
Alpha!
it dig.
Burn!
Rip and tear. On your now I'm in the groove.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I wish I could brawl like you, Law.
You wish to learn my secrets, young Alpha?
Yes, Master. Please, teach me the art of defense.
You aren't Grandmaster Kisara for that.
Rip and tear! Orochi's Fury!
Freeze Lancer.
Now or never. Swallow
Freezing storm.
Sword Dragon Shell! Orochi's Fury!
Tornado.
Arts are being interrupted.
Take that on the wind. I'm only Law. Get toasty.
Bird strike.
Right. Next one.
Already on.
Face you.
Sword Rain
Hitting
Alpha!
pile driver. I'm on. I'll smash you.
Tornado drive.
Do it. Elusive
Freeze
deity.
Lancer.
Rotating pile driver.
Get toasty.
Bird strike.
Haha. Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me.
Benediction light.
I never miss.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Heal.
Can't get out of this.
Break two heads. Pierce evil. That's not even fair.
Can you take it?
Freeze Lancer.
You're mine. Eat this.
You're mine.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Listen.
Win.
Burn!
Now you're talking.
By the
Sword Rain Alpha!
Swallow dance.
Annihilation.
I'm just getting
Wall to
started.
shield from calamity.
Talon Storm. Denied.
Another incantation.
Here, let me
Take this.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Armor won't save you.
I think I'm coming down with something
These
great.
things have
A
got your
chronic
name on 'em.
inability to read the room?
A malady your odds cannot fix.
Orochi's Fury!
That'll bring you down.
First strike! Sword Rain Alpha!
Will this help?
What a relief.
Ignite!
Dragon Shell.
Healing circle.
Thanks.
I'm just getting
Sword Rain
started.
Alpha!
Annihilation.
Whirlwind
Radiant
smash.
Pierce.
Begin.
Orochi's Fury!
Take this.
Serpent Knuckle.
I'll fix you up.
Eagle
I'll
Assault.
face you.
Sword Rain
Whirlwind
Alpha!
snap. Talon Storm. Tempest.
Mega Ray.
Blow away.
By
Benediction
the
light.
power of water.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Heal.
Into the shadows.
Orochi's Fury!
Arts are being interrupted.
Lightning. This one's mine. Where are you going?
Ready to go! Sword Rain Alpha! Elusive deity!
Glacial Spear.
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic fission! This one's all mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Not today! I'll face you! I'll smash you!
Freeze Lancer.
Bestow thy mystic mercy! Burn! Let's tear it up!
Why, thank you, your lordship.
And will you lay down your life for your lord?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not be hasty.
The unity of your movement is
Now
simply
I'm in the
incredible.
groove. Catapult! Tempest! Talon Hurricane!
Ether!
Mega Ray.
Infernal Punch!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm all stocked up. Annihilation.
In a bind?
Lightning.
I'm on it! That's enough! Talon Hurricane! Catapult!
Radiant Pierce.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll smash you! Crescent
Into the
Slash!
shadows.
Tempest!
Mega Ray.
Swallow Dare!
Watch and weep.
Sword Rain
You
Alpha!
shouldn't have messed with me!
This one's
Let
all
me
mine!
free
There
you
you
of your
Take
power.
it! Ether!
Talon Storm!
Healing Circle. That'll bring you down.
Thanks, Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Instant.
I'm ready!
Dohalim. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes! There's always room for improvement.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Try harder! My turn!
Lunar Corruption. Nothing gets by me.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Glimmer Dragon. Denied. Hear me. Flame of Fury.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacial Spear.
on.
Pierce evil.
Sorry, but this fight ends here.
Let's go faster!
Now, Asuna!
Right. Lightning. Kizara, go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
A freezing storm.
Burn!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I can carve through armor!
Doubly! In an instant! Impact Block!
I need to be stronger.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Mine.
Dragon
Ignite!
Burning.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here for us all!
Orochi's Fury!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Can't get out of this!
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
I'll tear you apart! Sword Rain Alpha!
Flame of Fury!
Water,
Hear my call!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacial Spear!
Not today! I'll finish you here and now! Sword Rain Alpha! Talon Hurricane! Orochi's Fury! Take this! Plasma Shock! Oh! Now I'm real mad! Burn! I can carve through orbit!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Freeze Lancer!
Talon Hurricane! Plasma Shock! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Talon Storm! It's on! Ignite!
Cyan
New melody!
Annihilation!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I never miss!
Dark Wind! Down on the ground!
Into the
Soaring
shadows!
Blast! Eat this!
Mega Ray! By the
Sword
power
Rain
of
Alpha!
Fury!
Be sealed! Talon Storm! Try harder!
Fury!
Not a chance! Bestow thy mystic in a bind!
Water! Hear my
Sword
call!
Rain Alpha! Talon Dance! Bestow thy do without mercy! Pain! Sword Rain Alpha! Fairy Circle! Sorry, but this fight ends here! Go faster! Now, Asuna!
Right!
Begin! Take this!
Dragon Fury!
Cut this line!
Reload!
You picked the wrong fight! Don't leave! Say! Blow them away!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Looks like trouble with a capital T!
Together, we got this!
Where are you going?
Try harder! Don't not a chance! Eat this! Damn it! Storm! A wall to shield from calamity! Barrier! Sword Rain Alpha! Orochi's Fury! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Radiant here!
Clear for us a path!
Cyan
Sword Rain Alpha! Orochi's Fury!
Radiant look here! A freezing
Sword
storm!
Rain Alpha! Elusive Deity! It's on! I'll face you! Eat I'm on it! I'm ready! Inferno! Rinwell! Demons Descend! Flashing Fang!
Well, looky here!
I'll take you all off! Shattering of pieces! Sword Rain Alpha! Take this!
It's over!
Dragon Gem! Down on the ground! Armor won't save you! Hitting pile driver!
That'll bring you down!
Tornado Drive! Elusive Deity!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Orochi's Fury! The
That'll
flame
bring you
inside
down.
me yearns to be life-free! Ignite! I'm ready! Penumbra!
Here's a healing
Sword Rain
arm.
Alpha!
First
I'll
aid!
face you! Do it! Prepare to
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one!
Everlasting already on! Negative gate! Orochi's Fury! Stalagmite! Sword Rain Alpha!
Freezing storm! A tornado!
Orochi's
Fire!
Stalagmite! Sword Rain
No
Alpha!
further.
Shattering of pieces! Attack! Not today! I'm on it! I'm just getting
Sword Rain
started!
Alpha!
That frickin' does it! Can you take in what happened there as you crossed me? Shouldn't have done that.
That'll bring you down.
Dragon Shell!
Sword Rain Alpha!
First strike!
Piton! Lunar corruption!
Burn it
Do it!
out! Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Benediction
Eat
light.
this! Heal!
Into
Sword
the
Rain
shadows!
Alpha! First strike!
Downfall!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Radiant
Eagle Dive!
Pierce! Do it! Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry
Freezing
distraction.
storm! There's still more to go!
Sword Rain Alpha! Elusive deity!
I'm ready!
Hitting piles of...
There!
Eat this!
Come on!
Come and get it! I'll grind you into dust!
If it's in the sky,
Crescent
it's
Flash.
mine! Hear me!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Burning!
Watch this!
Piercing
Whirlwind
storm.
Snap!
This one's mine!
Sword Rain
I'm
Alpha!
ready. Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Courteous, aren't you?
Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite! Freaking does it!
Bestow thy mystic
Carve through
mercy.
armor!
Pierce!
In a bind?
I'll
It
heal
can
you!
hide itself? Amazing!
Healing
Okay, here I come. I don't know what to do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Tornado!
I'm on it! Sword Rain Hurricane! Orochi Fury!
Thank you for the healing, Dohalim.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Right. No one is dying on our watch.
Dust to dust!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Seismic rupture! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Healing circle!
I really am grind you
That'll
into
bring you
dust.
down!
Tectonic punch! Sword Rain
A
Alpha!
thrilling performance.
Orochi Fury!
Into the shadows!
Talon Sword Rain Alpha!
Green bait.
Now I'm burning you apart! Smash you! Bloody howling! Resonate with the earth!
Water!
Stalagmite!
Hear my call!
On your
Talon
knees!
Hurricane!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Ready to go! Searing claw!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Ether!
Eagle assault!
Severing Wind! Talon Storm!
The fluidity of your movement is
Spear!
simply incredible.
Rising Falcon! What is this?
Hey, you okay?
Now I'm real mad!
Being interrupted.
Time for one more!
This one's mine!
Talon
Do without
Hurricane!
this pain.
Eagle Dive!
Lightning!
Kiva!
I owe you one.
Armor won't save you!
Another incantation
Not
ruined.
today! I'm
Lunar
just getting
corruption!
started!
Lunar blast!
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Whirlwind snap!
Bestow thy mystic
Swallow
mercy.
dance! Sword Rain Alpha! I'm on a roll now!
Nothing gets
Thanks, Shield.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Elusive deity!
I'm all stopped up!
First strike!
Time to let it rip.
Whirlwind snap!
Lightning!
Talon Storm!
Do it!
Sword Rain Alpha!
It was a close thing.
I have a bad feeling about this.
March on! Watch it! Sword Rain Alpha! Hurricane! Orochi Fury!
A wall to shield from calamity.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Where are you going?
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll heal you all!
Now I'm in the groove! I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here, let me help!
Quiver Dragon!
First aid!
Armor won't save you!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Sword Rain Alpha! Ah! Ignite! Eagle Assault!
I'll heal you all!
The earth throbs in pain.
Sword Rain Alpha!
No further! Now I can let loose.
Sorry to trouble you.
You do this by the power of water! Far enough!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Reload!
Orochi's Fury! I'll grind you into dust! Sword Rain Alpha!
I never miss!
Rotating pile driver!
A freezing storm!
Burn in hell! Whirlwind! Can you take
Ice tornado!
Sword Rain Alpha! Rotating pile driver! Attack time!
Water, hear my call!
Swallow dance! Captivity!
Pierce
Ranger! Elusive deity!
Swallow
Dance! Sword Rain Alpha! I'll thank you!
Here!
Tempest engulfs you!
Radiant Pierce!
Down you like rust now or never! Sword Rain Alpha! Can't get out of this!
Mega
It's on!
Talon
Hurricane! Ignite!
This one's mine!
Burn! Seismic
Lightning!
rush! Sword Rain Alpha! Dance on the wind!
Inferno Punch!
Orochi's Fury!
Radiant
Penumbra! Tornado Drive! Talon Hurricane!
These
fists have got your name on them!
One Denied! I'm only getting started! By the
Soaring Light Spear! I can carve through armor!
Mega Ray!
This one's all mine! Burn in hell!
Hear me!
Down on the ground! Tornado Drive! I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Sword Rain Alpha! Rinwell! Demons Descend! Flashing Fang!
This firearm feels like a part of me now.
Have you ever thought of wielding two at once?
Would be double the firepower, and plenty of style to boot.
What use is style when it's life or death?
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Brace
Here's
yourself!
a healing
This
art.
one's tough!
Let the marksman handle this! I never miss!
Lionheart!
Radiant Pierce!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here, let me help!
A
wall to shield
Sword Rain Alpha! Talon Hurricane!
Annihilation! Hear me!
Inferno
Flame of
Punch!
Fury! Burning Strike!
Sword Rain
Hear
Alpha!
my call!
Elusive deity!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Can't get out of this! Anything in armor
Freeze Lancer!
Tempest! Sword Rain Alpha! Smash you! Burn!
Watch and sweep!
Nothing
Annihilate!
you!
Mega Ray!
Talon Hurricane!
I may be less pleasant than usual.
Wait, when have you ever been pleasant?
Let the
Not since
marksman
meeting
handle
you,
this.
Law.
This
I
one's
should have kept my
mine.
mouth shut.
That frickin' does it!
Sorry,
Don't suffer.
I didn't want to put you out.
What are friends for? We can't depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
Dragon Shout! Elusive deity! Sword Rain Alpha! Soaring Victor! Talon Floor! Flash Shock! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! I'm just getting started! I'll thank you! Not today!
Annihilation! Lightning!
Can you take it?
Does it now or not? I'll finish you here and now!
By the power
I'll
of water!
smash you!
This one's mine!
Can't get out of this! Orochi's Fury!
This one's mine!
Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite! I'll grind you into dust! Dragon Shout! Sword Rain Alpha!
Thrilling performance.
Eagle Assault! I'll grind you into
Mega
dust!
Ray!
Orochi's Fury!
Aqua! Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Sword Rain Alpha! Swallow Dance! Chargers to me! Talon Eagle Frickin' does it!
I'm out of
Any
ammo!
more of this and I'll burn
Are
out.
you down?
Sword Rain Alpha! It's on! I'll grind you into dust! Talon Hurricane! Burn!
Healing Circle!
Inferno Punch!
I'm sorry to be a boss.
Sword Rain
We've all
Alpha!
got enough of
Oh, yes,
Do
ma'am.
it! Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
So I still had room to grow.
Gotta break through!
Be sealed. Talon Sword! Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray!
Resonate with the earth!
Smash you! Mega Ray!
Stalagmite!
Sword Ray
Alpha!
Roll now!
Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Sword Rain Alpha!
That'll bring you down!
You picked the wrong fight!
Talon Hurricane!
Here!
The fluidity of your movements are simply incredible.
Orochi Fury!
Here I go! It's over!
I'm on
Radiant, here!
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
I'm out of ammo!
Down on the
Roll
ground!
now.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Cascade!
Soaring blast!
Back into the fray!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop!
Got you!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm ready!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Beckon into everlasting darkness. Armor won't save
Try
you!
harder!
By the power of water!
Into everlasting darkness.
I'll heal
Negative
you all!
Rain Alpha!
That'll bring you down! Talon Storm!
Bathed in blood.
I could do without this pain!
Will this help?
Howling!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Inferno punch! Can't get out of this!
The flame inside me yearns to be let
myself
free!
together.
Rending you apart!
Need to pull myself
Bloody
together.
howling! Resonate with the earth!
Denied! Here!
Amazing.
Back into the fray!
Begin!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll grind you into dust!
I'll heal you all!
Backblast!
Healing circle!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll smash you!
Now I can let loose!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint,
Tear you like
No,
that'd
be
silly.
You picked the wrong fight! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me!
Healing circle!
That serpent!
Sword
I'm
Rain
like
Alpha!
bait to them!
Radiant light! Searing flame!
Addiction light.
Orochi Fury!
Heal!
Sword Rain
Flying
Alpha!
freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Sorry, but this fight ends here! Let's go faster!
Now, Akina!
Right! Sighted! It's over! Back into the fray!
In a bind?
Annihilation!
Begin! Tempest! Catapult! Tempest!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Blind you with
Hear
a
my call!
Ignite!
Tempest!
Spread! Glacial spear! Pierce
Sword Rain Alpha!
Armor won't save you!
The fluidity of your movements are simply incredible.
Shine!
Soul!
Radiant
Heal!
rocket!
Flame of
Force of
fury!
regeneration!
Try harder! Not a chance!
Big knuckle! Regenerate!
Water!
Soaring Light Spear!
Soul! Spread!
Denied!
I'll heal you all! This one's
Elusive
mine!
deity! I'm just getting started!
Healing! I never miss!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Moon primed and red! Talon
Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite!
Penumbra!
It was nice while it lasted.
Tornado drive! Take
Dance
this!
on the wind!
Lunar Blast! I'll smash you!
Lunar Blast!
Air pressure!
Lunar Collision!
Sword Ring Alpha!
Rending you apart!
Bloody howling!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning Strike! Water! Hear my call!
Talon Storm!
Glacier
Sword Ring
Spear!
Alpha!
Here's evil!
Blow away!
No. I won't. Yeah, appreciate the concern.
The sooner you stop thinking, the sooner
Now
you
I'm
can start
real
helping.
mad. I mean, yes, sir. In a bind?
Will this help?
Talon Storm! Sword Ring Alpha!
Raging Luna
Talon
Storm!
Hurricane!
Need to pull myself
Thrilling
together.
performance.
This one's mine!
Do it! This!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this!
Elusive deity!
I'm ready!
Hear my call! Astral energy! Full throttle! Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Looks like trouble with a capital T!
Together, we've got this! Sword Ring Alpha! This time!
Spread!
Burn in hell!
Here's the evil! Freeze Lancer!
Sword Ring Alpha!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Freaking done it! I'm on it!
Can you tell?
Talon Storm!
Deny! And again!
Sword Ring Alpha! Burn!
Where are you going? Down on the ground!
Tornado Drive!
Sword Ring Alpha! Whirlwind Snap! Orochi's Fury!
Healing Circle! Need to pull myself
I'll
together.
finish you here and now! Sword Ring Alpha!
Can't get out of this!
Magna Burn! Annihilation! Here's
Sword Ring Alpha!
Glacier
Negative
Spear!
six.
Here's the evil!
Eat this! Sword Ring Alpha!
I'll heal you
It's
all!
Eat dirt!
Healing Circle!
They smite with your echo blade!
Now!
Here I go!
Severing Wing!
Resonate with the
Sword
earth!
Ring Alpha!
Sorry, but this fight ends here.
Go faster!
Now, Asuna!
Right!
Swallow Dance!
Cyan Instant!
Catapult!
This one's mine!
Talon Hurricane! Watch it!
Down on the ground!
Here, let me help!
I could do this all day! Armor won't save you!
Denied! First strike!
Here! Will this help?
Inferno Blood!
Does it hurt?
Healing Circle!
Let me free you of that!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Lightning! Downfall!
Benediction.
Sword Ring Alpha! First strike!
Recover!
Okay. Get it!
Here, let me help! That's for you!
On your knees!
Graviton!
Prepare to be
Surfing
sealed!
Knuckle!
Flash!
Eat dirt!
I don't even know the word defeat.
No further!
Sword Ring Alpha!
Let me help!
Talon Hurricane!
Raging Luna Storm!
Amazing.
Eat dirt!
Watch this!
No! I won't give in! Negative
Annihilation!
gate!
That'll bring you down!
Resonate with the earth!
Sword Ring Alpha!
Let me help! First aid!
Let me-
Here's the
I'm ready!
Ridwell! Frozen!
Hammer!
That'll teach us for getting cocky.
What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary Zoogle. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
Burning strike!
Eat this! Soaring Alpha!
What the
Denied!
Annihilation!
A wall to shield from calamity.
Try harder!
Trouble!
Now!
Mega Ray!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Mega Ray! Roar!
Bestow thy mystic mercy.
Orochi's Fury! Its head is its weak point?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Ready and where?
This one's mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Armor won't sink! I'll finish you here and
Glacial
now!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Try to be seen! Talon Sword!
Sword Rain Piston!
Resonate with the arrow!
Sword Rain Alpha! Burn in hell!
Blood! Talon
Sword Rain Alpha!
Fluidity of your movement is
Water! Lightning! Downfall! Damn it!
in a bind!
Back into the fray!
Catapult!
Lightning! I'm ready!
Catapult! Crumble! Eat this!
Cyan Instant!
Sword Rain Alpha! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Now you see what I can do!
Eat
Radiant
this!
Catapult!
Light!
Denied! Clear for us a path. Time for one more. Win! No art for being interrupted. Sword Rain Alpha! Orochi's Fury there! Regeneration! Eagle Assault!
Here's evil!
Why thank you, your lordship. And will you lay down your life for your lord? Well, I mean, hey, let's not be hasty. Can you take it? Alpha! I'm on it!
Cyan Instant! I'm all stopped up!
Sword Rain Alpha! Shouldn't have led with me! Force of regeneration!
Searing Flame!
Inspiration! Regenerate! I can do this all day! Burn! Don't suffer in silence! Protect! Yeah, I appreciate the concern. Can't get out of...
The sooner you stop thanking, the sooner you can
Here's a
start
healing
helping.
art!
I mean, yes, sir. Eagle Ray! I can carve through armor! Orochi's Fury! Let's tear him up! Nothing gets by me! Watch this! Denied! Penumbra! Destiny Pile Driver!
Lightning!
The
Healing!
flaming soul are yours to be let free!
Burning Strike!
Very
This one's
circle!
mine!
Allow me to help you!
You must be tired of healing me.
I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Glad you're on out.
Show thy mystic mercy!
Radiant
Sword Rain Alpha! I'm ready! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Sword Rain Alpha! Begin!
Freeze Lancer!
Snake is the abyssal deep! Clear for us a path!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Magna Ray!
Orochi's Fury! I'll
Annihilation!
smash you!
Magna Ray!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Annihilation!
Eat this!
Magna Ray!
This one's all mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite!
Will this help?
I'm on it! The abyssal... Sword Rain Alpha!
Healing
Can't get
circle.
out of this! Eat this!
I'm grateful.
Hear me!
Resonate with you!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Water!
A
Hear
thrilling
my call!
performance.
Orochi's Fury! Eat this!
Merciful Death!
Sword Rain Alpha!
A freezing storm!
I'll finish you here and now!
Tornado!
Clear for us a path! Another incantation ruined!
Here, let me help! First aid!
The flaming side is yours to be let free! Incredible
Wrong with me.
You just say the word and I'm there.
I can't believe it's come to this.
Pile Driver! Tornado
Here's a
Drive!
healing outstanding form!
Elusive Deity!
Talon Sword! To the fray! Let the marksman handle this! Talon Hurricane!
Shine!
Glimmer
Light
Blade!
and
Power
light.
of water!
All
Ah!
good things come to an end! Bestow thy mystic mercy!
This one's mine!
Inspiration! Not my fight! Sword Rain Alpha! Couldn't make it in time!
You're mine!
Orochi's Fury!
Reload!
Soul with light!
By the power of water!
Bestow thy
Searing
mystic
Flame!
mercy! Sword
Reload!
Rain Alpha!
Not a man!
Not today!
Thank you for the healing,
Is that a
Dolan.
healing art?
It is.
Annihilation!
I can't ignore your pain.
And I'll try to be more careful.
Can't get out of this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Hear my
Here comes
call.
something big!
Try to
Sword Rain
dodge.
Alpha! Raging Lunar Storm! Orochi's Fury! Dark Wind!
Freeze Lancer!
Outrun you with a Alpha! Elusive Deity!
Hear me!
Take this!
Fury!
Armor won't save me!
I never miss!
This one's looking all wrapped up!
Don't be complacent. Do you know that word?
Yes, I'm not an
You
idiot.
picked the wrong fight!
Healing Circle!
Now
I'll bring you back from
So much for
death to
sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint,
Nope, that'd be silly.
A freezing storm!
Reflect on thy
Ice
sins.
tornado!
They smite with... Raging Lunar Storm! Sword Rain Alpha!
Unadulterated
Here's a
fury.
healing art! First
Sword Rain
aid!
Alpha!
Eagle Heal! Flame of Fury! Eat dirt! That'll bring you down!
Negative gate!
Water! Hear my call!
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Swallow armor won't save you!
Glacial Spear!
Sword
Here's
Rain
evil!
Alpha! Eagle Assault! Orochi's Fury!
I'm all stopped up! Magna
Inferno
Ray!
Punch!
By the power of
With the
water!
other! Sword Rain Alpha!
Spirits within the soil.
Sword Rain Alpha! Awaken and wreak havoc! Tectonic Punch!
Healing
Shut up!
Circle! Nothing gets by me!
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am.
Rain Blast!
It's trying to take us out.
Do it!
I'm ready!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalim's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Rena now... now sits above us. I pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I sense a strange power from this.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I thought I was used to fire by now.
hoo hoo hoo. Hoo 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 hoo.
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava, what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a... bit of an exaggeration, though.
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow! Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cyslodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hootle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hootle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hootle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hootle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hootle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hootle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shion's decision to revolt, the Danon uprising in Calaglia, the crown contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time, the fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zoogle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
Hey, Kisara, what's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia, though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord we met in Vicente was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Who?
I see you've got your relics all lined up again. What are you doing? Huh? They're so bright now.
Oh, it's you two. I was merely tending to my collection.
Don't you think you've polished them enough by now?
You take better care of your relics than you do yourself.
I try to take good care of them. However, no matter how much work I put in, it refused to respond.
I thought you could hear their voices somehow.
I can, but that's all I can do with them. I can't actually engage in conversation with them. Not yet.
What are they saying? Did they really want you to polish them that much?
You're right. I was so enraptured with them, I may have selfishly failed to consider their own wishes. I must open my mind and sincerely engage with them in earnest.
He never gets tired of his relics, does he?
Nope. It is interesting to look at them when they're all lined up together like this, though. Like how these two have similar designs. It makes me wonder if they were made in the same period.
An excellent observation. Yes, I too suspect they're somehow intimately related as well.
I don't see what you two are talking about at all.
What's this? Why, that smear wasn't there previously. Could it be responding to my voice at long last? It's rather viscous and has a distinct aroma to it.
Ugh, Hootle! These relics are no place for you to do your business! Whew! I'm serious! These are priceless pieces of history!
Come on, Dohalim. Let's go wash your hands before you catch anything weird.
Maybe something's going on in the forest. Do you sense one of your...
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but... You sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, You know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but... I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion, but that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Oh?
Right.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zoogles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Always good to be back in familiar territory.
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kinda pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yeah, it kinda makes you hard to talk to. So, what's bothering you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
Snuck its way into the back of my boot. I can't seem to get rid of it.
Oh, I totally get you. Weird how much it can get on your nerves, huh?
Yeah, it's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Shion.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome? That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
He wants to get angry, but knows that doing so would only prove our point. Hence the building frustration showing plainly on his face.
Would you stop analyzing things for 1 minute?
Point taken.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Isn't that all Madria's?
So this is where her ship drifted.
Then the one who wrote the letter is...
Alive, but badly wounded. I doubt many of the others have survived.
Let's survey the area.